What's up everybody, CK here from Valley Boys Digimon TCG. So BT8 was delayed. We're stuck in the BT7 meta just a little bit longer. Some people are getting tired of it, but that's okay. Honestly, the end of the meta is kind of my favorite time because at the start of a new set, everybody runs to what Japan has shown are the top tier decks. Everybody's trying to top with those really strong decks, but the end of the meta, that's where the fun happens, okay? Everybody's already had their time with the top decks. Now it's time for the fun deck building. That's what I like. I'm more into the janky stuff. So, the end of the meta, all the fun decks come out. That's my favorite time to play. Today I'm going to show you a kind of double take of the yellow hybrid deck. Now, yellow hybrid is a top deck. It can be annoying to go against. Yellow hybrid is basically the new security control. Lots of recovery. We're going to mix it up and add a little bit of aggression to it because it can be a slow deck. It does take its time before it finally gets in. So we're going to go over two versions of it. What I'm going to discuss is the Bonds package. Now, it just depends on which version you want, the red or the blue. Now, the Bonds package adds a lot of aggression to the deck and some removal to the deck as well. I'm going to go over both. Personally, I go with the red deck. I've been testing the Aggro Bond package with the yellow hybrid, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I'm not a yellow player at all. I've never built a yellow deck, to be honest with you. I've played a lot of different decks, never once built a yellow. This is the most yellow I've built. Now, a side note, if you plan to use this deck, just from practice, you want to go second. You want the extra draw. Blue does have more draw power, but red has a little more aggression, I would say. The removal is the big thing for red for me. So, starting off, we're going to go with the yellow package. Now, obviously, the yellow package is going to be universal through both of them. So for the yellow package of this deck, we're running 4 of all the BT7 yellow hybrid core. This means the 4 Zoe, the 4 Kazemon, 4 Zephyrmon, and of course 4 Jet Sylphimon. Now, Jet Sylphimon obviously is the star of the yellow hybrid package. That recovery is so key, extending the game and it's lasting an extra turn. Now, for level 6s, I'm only taking in 2 level 6s, and they're kind of different purposes. I'm using one BT7 Seraphimon, the new campaign promo card. He's really good in yellow recovery style decks. Recovery on Evo and recovery on deletion. The other one I'm having is Dynasmon. Now, Dynasmon is actually really good for a few instances. Obviously, recover 1 if 1 is removed. He also recovers 1 when you go into the Bonds package. That means you're only trashing 1 security essentially when going into Bond. If you have Dynas already out and you're going into Bond, you're probably going for game anyway, so the recovery isn't that big a deal, but it could come in certain instances. Now, the yellow options, playing a little different. I'm running 3 tactical retreats, 1 holy wave, 2 wyvern breath, and of course 1 reinforced memory boost. Reinforced memory boost is still limited to 1, and it should still be played, I think, in almost every yellow deck because it's such a good card for yellow. Now, tactical retreat is a really good card in this deck. If you go into Bond early to mid game, obviously you still have security. Bond is supposed to be deleted at the end of turn. But if you play Tactical Retreat, you can place that Bond to the top of your security, which then now you have a really strong security monster on top, which will slow your opponent down and make them rethink if they're ready to swing right away. Holy Wave, I'm only running 1 Holy Wave. It feels like a high cost option, but instead of running a full set of Tactical Retreat, I thought I'd take in 1 Holy Wave just to try it out, and it's been working out well for the most part. Now, Wyvern Breath. Wyvern's Breath is the best removal card for yellow. It is their Gaia Force, and especially good if you have to go up against a Craniumon. Now, for the yellow package, I'm also running 5 more Tamers. That's going to be 2 TKs, TK obviously being the staple in yellow decks, and 3 TK and Kari. TK and Kari is great because a lot of instances you're going to have less security, especially after the Bond play, so having him set up helps a lot. I prefer the TK and Kari for memory over TK because since we're running so many other colored, whether you're using the red or the blue package, TK can be a double-edged sword. You can lose the game because you're running TK. TK could get hit in security if the last card there is a red or a blue, depending on which version of this deck you're running. Having to pull that card, no recovery, and then the opponent has 1 more card to swing in with. Now, for the red package, on the eggs, I run 4 eggs only because you don't really evolve too much in this because you're not running too many rookies. So I run 4 Sakudomon. This is really great to pair with the Bond package because he states in his Inherited, when attacking with a level 7, gain 1 memory. Now, for the actual Digimon package, I'm running 4 Agumon from BT6, 2 BT1 Agumon, And of course the 4 Bond of Bravery. Bravery with the BT6 Agumon, that is your ideal stack, obviously. You swing in, delete something, trash the top of their security, and then security attack +1. So you're getting 3 checks essentially, well, 1 trash and 2 checks. The 2 BT1 Agumons are just to have an extra Agumon to play, but also the on-play effect to be able to search for a tamer, any tamer. It doesn't state a red tamer. The other 2 Digimon I'm running are 2 Agunimon. Now this is just an extra thing. If we have a couple ties out, you don't have to tap him to use his effect, so you can always Aguni for game. And Zoe's on-play effect states you can pull a hybrid from your security. It doesn't say a yellow hybrid, which means Agunimon is a valid target for Zoe's on-play effect. Now, of course, we have the 4 ties. Tie's key for this package. We want to make sure we see him. Tie is going to obviously let us go into our bond play, but it's also going to let us Aguni. Now, for my options, I do run a few red options. One non-removal card I'm running is 1 Atomic Inferno. Atomic Inferno is great for red hybrid, but it works here because it only states that it has to be a hybrid Digimon, not a red hybrid Digimon. So as long as you're egg or there's some red on the field, you can play it to boost your other yellow hybrids as well. Now, of course, the security effect is really key. If it gets hit in security, I know we're only running 1 of in this list, but when it gets hit in security, and now you can go in with security plus, that's pretty big. Now I'm running 2 Atomic Blaster and 1 Gigastorm. Now, of course, Gaia Force is the big red removal, but I feel like the big thing in this meta is a lot of little guys. So, Atomic Blaster can get rid of a board of rookies, get rid of a couple of Bokomons, or Gigastorm to get rid of 2 ultimates, essentially. I think the multiple removal is a little bit better right now than the Gaia Force. Now, obviously, this isn't going to remove a level 6, but the Bond of Bravery himself is also removable when you swing in, as long as they're 13k or under. Alright, now to the blue package. The blue package doesn't have an egg as good as the red package does, so for the blue, we're just going to run with Upamon. Upamon's probably one of the most popular blue eggs in any blue deck. Good draw power, usually can go off, especially because of so many Bokomons running around. Next, obviously we're maxing out our playset of the Bond play. That means 4 BT6 Gabumon and 4 Bond of Friendship. And then we're also throwing in 2 BT1 Gabumon because he's great to just throw down and get an extra draw. Now, another big advantage of blue is Bond of Friendship swings 3 times. Where Bond of Bravery clears 3 security, it's only 1 swing. Bond of Friendship swings, restands, swings again. So Bond of Friendship has a better chance of swinging for game. On top of that, every time they swing, they can tuck something to the bottom of the deck, which is so huge, especially when dealing with memory blockers or Bokomons, or even the blue hybrids where they have the Tommy in the source. Now, of course, we're going to run 4 of Matt. Matt is key for this package, so of course we have to run the 4, not only for our draw, memory gain, and our bond play, but also for our blue hybrids. Now, just how I run 2 Agunimon in the red package, I'm running 2 Lobomon in the blue package. Now, I know for both of these we have a lot of red and blue hybrids to choose from. Maybe you prefer to run the Korikakumon or Akumamon in this build. I'm keeping it simple with Lobomon, and of course we're just going to use them for Lobo for game. Now, for the options package, we're running 1 Ice Wall. Ice Wall is still so good in just about any blue deck you run. Can help stall games or save you for the next turn. Now, the other options, this is where I was a little torn. Hammer Spark seemed to be the obvious choice, but Boring Storm was a really good option to run because it gave us more draw power to the deck at only 1 cost. And if it hit in security, you get to draw 2. I think Boring Storm is really good for this. And I was between running 3 Hammer Sparks or 3 Boring Storm. I decided to split it. Hammer Spark I still think is still really great, especially when hitting security. It has won and lost a lot of games for people. But with so many memory blockers being run in a lot of decks, I was a little torn whether to max it out and decided to run Boring Storm for a 1 of. Now, of course, there's other blue options you can run. Forbidden Trident is a popular one. Howling Memory Boost, of course, is a big one to run. But I decided to keep it simple and low cost on the blue option side. So that is my take on the yellow hybrid with the bond package. The yellow hybrid is great, long stalling game and recovery deck, but the bond adds so much aggression and removal to that deck that it makes it really fun and very interesting to play. Obviously, there's a lot of different ways you can build these decks. Feel free to tweak them, spice them up your own way. These are just my recipes. This is just my version. I really enjoy the red package, and I might be running it for the Ultimate Cup. I'm still thinking about that. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what other content you want to see. And what are you guys running in the Ultimate Cup? Since we are stuck in the BT7 meta just a little bit longer, maybe you guys might feel yourself inspired to try one of these decks. Let me know if you do. Let me know how you would change it, or what your little recipe is for it. Well, that's the video, guys. I'm CK from Valley Boys Digimon TCG. Till next time.